The sitting of today commencing was interrupted at 12:30 p.m. pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 32.3. As I directed, the House was to resume at 2:30 p.m. with the resumption of interrupted business being prioritized as required by Standing Order 34. So on that business, Honorable Mwangi Gishoki, the minority leader, was on the floor. So maybe he can proceed.
Maybe Honorable Speaker, we proceed with order number 8 under motions and bills, and we have a motion by Honorable Isaac Kongo Wajiru.
All right, thank you for the communication, clerk. So Honorable James Mwangi Gishoke was on the floor. He may proceed.
Madam Speaker, I think I actually had put my argument forward. Attention of the Assembly. Is not seized of an opportunity to give an authority. In that it says, except as provided by subsection 5, the approval of county assembly for spending under this section shall be sought within 2 months after first withdrawal. So there are two key words.
Information.
Madam Speaker, I would wish you to protect me so that I don't lose my flow. I don't want the information.
I protect Honorable Mwangi Gishoke.
Yes, so that I don't lose my flow. And thank you, Madam Speaker. If you read
is it urgent, Honorable Omilka?
It is, because that direction might be misleading.
All right.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just want to give information to the House that you cannot read section 135 without reading 2. So therefore, it is important also for the member, before going to subsection 4, to read for us subsection 2 so that we flow. Otherwise, if we jump subsection 2, we shall be misleading this House, Madam Speaker.
Okay, Honorable Mwangi Gishoke, I direct you read the sections.
Let's read subsection 2. Subsection 2 says this. A county government shall submit a supplementary budget in support of the additional expenditure for authority for spending under subsection 1. This is the question I want the honorable member through the speaker to respond. When you read subsection 2, it is then saying there is a supplementary which has been provided. And when you provide a supplementary, you bring to the assembly for approval. Once that supplementary is approved, it is deemed to have been an appropriation. So what is the place of the question that says a government can spend money that is not appropriated? Because section 2 allows you to bring a supplementary, and by dint of bringing a supplementary, it means you have appropriated. And therefore, there is no need of the question of subsection 1. And that is why here subsection 4 now addresses itself to the money that has been accrued and has not been appropriated. That is where now the assembly is being called to order. It is being called to order and being told, in the case of that money, which the government
Maybe,
used and it
Madam,
was not appropriated
point of
under section 4,
point of order.
can you now, after it has been withdrawn,
Point of
can
order,
you
Mr.
go and spend it? What is
Order, members. Allow the honorable member to finish his
That's
argument.
information.
Yes.
Information.
Kindly, Honorable Gashomba, allow the member to finish his argument, and then you.
Correct, and I'm actually waiting. In fact, my argument is simple. That the person who brought in section 135 had clarity on how a budget is appropriated. A budget is appropriated in two ways. One, when we bring the normal main budget, the way we normally assembly, and two, when you bring a supplementary budget. So when subsection 135(1) talks of allowing a government to spend money that is not appropriated, it is the one that is giving life to subsection 4, which is telling the county assembly, because you have not approved this money, either in the main budget or in the supplementary budget, and subsection 135(1) has allowed the county government to spend, at number 4, come now after this money has been withdrawn, and in 2 months, 60 days, approve. And therefore my point to the assembly is this, and to the speaker, is that what the Minister for Finance is asking the county assembly to do is illegal. It does not have capacity, it does not have authority to approve under requirement of 135(4), and I submit.
Honorable Gashomba, you had something to say?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, first and foremost, I want to appreciate.
Honorable members, let's consult in law terms.
I want just to appreciate.
Point of order.
Point of order,
Point of order.
Honorable Catherine.
Honorable Speaker, this is just upon and I lose the flow of why the minority leader stood up. Because when he stood up, he said that he was moving an amendment. So I was wondering, why hasn't he moved it, or has he slackened and decided that he's now not
forgotten
moving
about
it?
the amendment.
Or has he just forgotten?
Just before Honorable Gishoki, you continue, let Honorable.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was on the floor, and I want those. I need to protect from.
Order, honorable members. Order.
Honorable Speaker.
Order, honorable minority leader, we listened to you. Order.
Member.
Honorable Patience, kindly consult in law terms.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to highlight on what was alluded by the chairman, the budget. And I hope members, you get to understand, this is a very critical matter. Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, order.
Madam Speaker, this is a very critical matter. I want everybody to get to understand what we are talking about.
Honorable Gashomba.
Madam Speaker, I want to appreciate that the chairman brought this motion, or rather, what do we call it? About regularization of what has been alluded by the Minister for Finance. And I want to make it very clear that when we are doing supplementary budget, we do supplement what has not been actually appropriated at the closure of the year. You are aware, Madam Speaker?
He can only speak on another motion.
Honorable Milka, you raised it on a point of, you quoted the standing order, which section?
Age is catching up with me, so the clerkship is here to assist me, and that is why he quickly brought the standing order to you.
I will intervene. It is section 85 of the standing orders that says no member shall speak more than once to a question except in committee of the whole assembly.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker.
Point of order.
Speaker,
what is your point of order, Honorable Matimu?
Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker.
Honorable Gishoki, sit down kindly.
Madam Speaker.
Allow Honorable Matimu to proceed.
I think we are House of Rules and Regulations, and for any member to bring an amendment to any motion. There's a timeline that is given as per our standing orders. And the same should be communicated to the Speaker. I don't know whether, Madam Speaker, you are sized of an amendment to the motion by Honorable Kongo before him bringing the motion. Because I saw him hurriedly walking out and coming, holding a big pile of papers. I'm humbly requesting for your guidance.
Honorable members, I will proceed to read the subsection 2 of the same section 85. Despite paragraph 1, a member who has spoken on a question may again be heard to offer explanation of some material part of the member's speech which has been misunderstood but not introduce a new matter. In this case, Honorable Gishoki, are you introducing a new matter or you're just giving an explanation on what you said?
I am just continuing with where I left in the last one, which was that I am agreeing to the findings of the report, albeit for the need to make an amendment of the report by removing the recommendation as done by the committee of budget, and I would want to make an amendment to read the following. That
Point of order.
I make an amendment having interrogated the request.
What's your point of order, Honorable
to confirm that it does not have
Point
the
of order.
perceived authority to approve funds before they are spent.
Honorable Gishoki, interruption. Have you furnished the desk of the Speaker with that amendment?
Public Finance Management Act 2012. Section
Have a seat, Honorable
155.
Gishoki, have a seat. You have not furnished us with that
Point of order,
information.
Madam Speaker.
Honorable Catherine was speaking.
Honorable Speaker, I think I was going to ask whether he has met the timelines of furnishing the amendments to the clerkship. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, I remember that I am just the one who has reminded him what he was supposed to do. So he had already sat down, and I was just seeing whether he would catch the joke. So I think his time is up, Honorable
Yeah.
Speaker. Let us
I also agree with that. Honorable Gishoki, you have now to give the rest a room to contribute. Honorable
I just
Keruka.
just find
Honorable Gishoki, I kindly have a seat.
I just wanted to be recorded, Madam Speaker, that there
Honorable
was concerted
Gishoki,
effort.
kindly have
There
a
was
seat.
concerted
Similar
effort
seat.
to
Honorable
tell the
Gishoki,
Assembly
kindly have
that
a
it
seat.
is conducting an illegal business, and that illegal business will come
Honorable
to this particular
Gishoki, kindly
assembly
have
and
a
it will
seat.
return.
Sit down, Honorable Gishoki.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Kiruka.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was saying this. It is not good to allow one honorable members to waste our time here discussing from
Madam
morning
Speaker,
up to this.
point
We
of
have-
order, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker,
I'm completely
we
agree with
have
Madam
a lot
Speaker.
of issues, a lot of pending bill,
Madam Speaker,
reports that we are supposed to
Madam
undergo.
Speaker,
So,
I am aggrieved by that. I have a
Thank
point
you,
of order.
Madam
I need
Speaker.
to put a rebuttal. Member for Sharagita, they are not
You know,
about to see.
Honorable Gishoki, I have not given you the leeway to speak, and you must respect the chair while seated at this. Who else? Honorable Gashomba, you can proceed with your contribution.
Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we are working on the report that was requested by the CCM, Finance and Economic Development, under Section 135 of the PFMA Act. Madam Speaker, the section, if it leads, that means, Madam Speaker, what you want to do a supplementary budget, and if the minister want to bring any document regarding finances in this honorable house, Madam Speaker, we can only allow such a document if it is about money that has not been spent. Madam Speaker, through a supplementary budget. And Madam Speaker, this is why we have said as a budget committee that those that were not unforeseen, the only thing that can be included in the supplementary budget, because I had said earlier, is that supplementary budget is done when we have some funds that were returned to the National Treasury at the course of the year, so that we can be able to supplement the project and the recurrent expenditure or development expenditure that was forwarded in that financial year. Nothing else, Madam Speaker, can be included in the supplementary budget, not unless, Madam Speaker, there are others unseen projects that may be of calamity issues, like floods and all that, fire, those can be included in the supplementary budget. But now, we are not denying the minister to come up with those recommendations in this honorable house. What we are saying is that the money has been brought forward to supplement. Maybe we have the electricity that was in energy, about 20 million, 247,800 for Kenya Power and Lighting Company. Where in the supplemental, in the budget line item, where is that money? That's what we are asking as an assembly. We don't have any dispute with the minister. We are telling the minister, can you come with a supplementary budget and give us the line item of those funds, so that we can be able to supplement? Don't tell us that you want to give us a blank check to sign for you without any supporting document within the framework of PFMA Act. We can't agree that we come here and rubber stamp what the minister wants us to do. And furthermore, if she can be able to come up with a supplementary budget and tell us, FROCA hand 52,268,996. He continued to tell us in water, we have 11 million for the FROCA. RAD 69 million. Energy 24 million. RAD 1.5 million. If that money is in the supplementary budget that is being brought by the minister, why hurry? We know that we have shortage in terms of paying flood rates and all that in our county. We have shortages in the energy sector. But Madam Chair, where are we supplementing those vote heads from? That's what we are asking in assembly. You are aware, Mr. Speaker, the law allow that within every sub vote heads, the minister is allowed by the law to come up with about 10% in terms of every sub vote head when we are doing supplementary budget. If you get to understand the 20 million, it's more than 10% voted. Why is it in the budget time? That's what we are saying. Can the minister get back and come up with a supplementary budget? And we try to verify as a budget committee. Yes, last financial year, there was some money that was not utilized. Can we be able to supplement? If there are other monies from the donor, can we include them in the supplementary budget and try to balance? Because, Madam Speaker, we can try to balance development expenditure with the current expenditure. And you are aware, in the PFMA Act 2012, it allows that development must not be less than 30%. And this is a scenario where now the development budget want to be brought to about 25%. We can't allow, Madam Speaker. That's
Point
why
of
we are saying,
clarification, Madam Speaker.
That is why, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, we are trying to tell our Minister for Finance.
Madam Speaker, I want to get it clear from you. We are debating a matter that has not been seconded. We are debating a matter that has not been, a question has not been put.
Honorable Matimo, this is a continuation from the morning sitting.
Yes, but but after Honorable Shoke brought the amendment.
He was just contributing. Honorable Matimo will have a seat. Continue, Honorable Gashomba.
Okay, Madam, thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, what we are saying in a nutshell is just to advise the minister that the COB is the one who controls the funds of this country, not the Nyandarua, it's Nyandarua. And the COB said he won't allow to be misused by this county government. Yes.
Clarification from the chair.
What's your point of clarification?
Chair, you see there is a kind of confusion as to where we are. Chair, maybe from where you sit,
Maybe I can give direction on that.
maybe from where you sit, Chair, you need to clarify to what point we are in this motion. Since if it is continuation, whether it has been seconded successfully or whether we are contributing. And this one, purely I'm asking clarification from the chair.
All right, let me give the clarification, and members be attentive. Members be attentive. We had this motion in the morning, but we adjourned because of time constraints. The motion was seconded by Honorable Bogo, and so Honorable Minority Leader Honorable Gishoke was making his contribution, and he stood to support to support or maybe make his contribution with amendment, though he forgot to explain that to the House or maybe to bring it to the attention of the Speaker. So members are contributing. I had already put the question. I had already proposed the question. So Honorable Gashomba, without being interrupted, kindly finish your statement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was on the issue of the COB. The COB is the one that authorizes every fund in this republic, not only in Nyandarua. And if the COB wrote a letter and said that he won't allow mismanagement of the PFMA Act, we are saying as an assembly, can the minister, if he want to legalize what he's talking about, the expenditure and also the current, in the year 2024-2025, can he please come up with a supplementary budget? This honorable house, you do the needful. But if you can give us a blank check to tell us that you have some money somewhere, you are hiding somewhere, you must come up with a documentation to show the assembly this money was brought by the World Bank, this FROCA. Was it in the last financial year? Was it that's what we can be able to supplement? There's no harm. And we are ready to help this county government to grow in terms of its own project it is undertaking. So as an assembly, can the minister, for the due process of the law, come up with a supplementary budget? We as an assembly, we are here to scrutinize and see whether the 20 million for the energy was those funds in the last financial year. Why is she? If it is not, where are you supplementing from? Even as a Fort Head, can you please tell us, I want to transfer this money from road department to a certain department so that we can give an assembly to understand where we are heading to. So in a nutshell, Madam Speaker, I agree with the chair that you cannot be taken for granted as an assembly. Our work is to oversight and legislate and also to represent our people. So we cannot be used as a rubber stamp from any quarter of this county. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Wanjiru.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I rise to support the motion of the Budget Committee. And first, I want to commend the Budget Committee, which I'm a member, for the quick response and also thorough research on what is supposed to happen. And also want to appreciate the members who have contributed earlier. But I have this to say, that while we read the spirit of the CCM finance, that indeed this county, we are not in a good place because the implementation for the past 2 quarters has been wanting. And I read the mind of the CCM that she wants now money to start implementing the project. So her spirit is good, Madam Speaker. However, things must be done in the right way. Bringing a letter to this assembly requesting for an approval, yes, according to her, she thought that was the right process. However, this assembly is an assembly of rules and regulations, and we cannot be making the laws and be the same person breaking the same laws. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, in view of what I'm saying, there are 2 sections that are guiding this process. And Honorable Mwangi Gishoke alluded to this very well. Section 135 of the PFMA Act. Read from Section 1 all the way to Section 6. It guides how such funds are supposed to be appropriated funds that have not been appropriated the way they are supposed to be appropriated. You go to also section 39. It clearly outlines under which circumstances can these funds be appropriated. So there are also sections down there, there are also subsections down there, 135 and 139. So how the CCM was supposed to have brought this request is well guided in the PFMA Act. This is what I want to say. She ought to have brought a supplementary budget so that we are able to appropriate the monies that were not appropriated before. She also was supposed to have brought the supplementary budget if she felt that she needed to increase a certain vote. For example, the vote of electricity. For sure, the bill can go high, and even in our homes, it happens. You find sometimes you are paying more than you anticipated. So if in the Department of Energy found that the bills are more than whatever they had budgeted, they ought to have brought that through a supplementary budget, telling us the vote head for electricity had, for example, 50 million. And now the bill is 70 million, for example. So we need to reappropriate or reallocate this money to cater for the difference. So she ought to have said, we are getting 20 million from this department, and we want you to appropriate this money to be able, for us to be able to cover the difference that has arisen out of maybe economic crisis or the fuel energy or the fuel cost going up. Therefore, Madam Speaker, the way she brought that request is what we are saying is not right. The spirit is good, but the way she brought it is not right. Number two, as an assembly, we need to meet what more members are talking about, what we are calling the fiscal responsibility. The fiscal responsibility is 30%, 70, 30, 70. If we alter that with just a letter and we have not checked the fiscal responsibility, would be putting this assembly into jeopardy, into a problem that we cannot be able to explain. Number three, it clearly indicates that only 10% can be appropriated. Now, all the vote heads that she brought, they are all more than 100%. So already she's requesting us to break a law that we made, that was made in this assembly. Therefore, Madam Speaker, I want to conclude and say, so that other members can speak, is that we want to support this government to deliver. As a member of Kirita Ward, I want to see water projects being implemented. I want to see ECD being built. I want to see roads being completed. Therefore, we want to support this government to deliver. However, we have to do it in the right way. So our request, and we have seen the request, the CCM should, as quickly as yesterday, bring a supplementary budget to this assembly,
Madam
so
Speaker,
that we support the supplementary budget, we reappropriate the monies that she wants appropriated, so that we can enable them do the work. Therefore, I support the report in totality that we are rejecting that proposal should be brought through a supplementary budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Milka. I had seen Honorable Ngeshe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you see now from the Auditor General Report 2023-2024, you see the Department of Finance, it is a crime scene. That you will find it in page 154. It is a crime scene. If you have that document, it is a crime scene, and they have only now used they want to con the assembly to sanitize their illegality, irregularity, and we must be steadfast and on lookout, lest we perish with them. There is actually in that particular document, the Auditor General is raising very critical issue that has happened in this county, and I know the minority leader will, because I know he is adventurous, he will have to be equipped with this. Page 155, there is something that Auditor General raises, unsupported budget adjustments. And Madam Speaker, they amounted to 531,345,973. Half a billion has already been misappropriated. Money has been spent without, as per the Auditor General, money has been spent without even a budget item. And it is no more. You see, with the change manifesto, it is no more. You change even what is constitutionally there. And when my brother was contributing, I was sympathizing with him, the great people of Virginia, how now we should now regularize and sanitize a crime scene. Madam Speaker, as I wide.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
What is your point of order, Honorable Gishoki?
Madam Speaker, I was specific on the sections of law I was dealing and talking about. The member for Kipipiri is completely out of order to insinuate that the people of Engineer, by even quoting the people of Engineer, that the people of Engineer are cleansing a crime scene. That is erroneous. He needs to apologize, and he must constrain himself to Kipipiri, where he belongs, and that at any time when the people of Engineer want to say something, they are well represented by their persons, and he will speak for their behalf. But he needs to apologize in that I was not defending any crime scene. I am not aware of any. I am not said of the materials he has. It is going to come to my knowledge. He has, and I'm going to read at such a time. But he must not put it to me that I was sanitizing a crime scene which I'm not even aware of.
Honorable Ngesha, I must agree. What Honorable Minority Leader did was quote the law, and he was just trying to interpret it the best way he knew how. So kindly apologize for insinuating that the people of Engineer are operating on a crime scene, which seem to have really gone on the wrong.
I sincerely apologize that the member, you see, he was representing his own opinion. I apologize. That
Thank you for the apology.
the great
Proceed.
people of Engineer
Proceed with your contribution.
Are against this heinous act of
Honorable Ngesha, get back to line with your line of thoughts and continue contributing.
yeah.
You know, Madam Speaker.
So, Madam Speaker,
Honorable Gishoki, I have not given you.
There is no remorseness in what he's saying. And you know, he has completed.
From where I sit, I can read remorse, and he has already apologized. Honorable Ngesha, continue.
Madam Speaker, you know, as I'm used to being interrupted in flow because, of course, I'm a focused person. So I need to just let this House know this. When you go to the report by the Budget Committee, page 2, you see, page 2, the background information. Why are they the justification of the monies that they want to appropriate? I will narrow to water, the 11 million FROCA. Fund not appropriated in financial year 2024-2025. You see, Madam Speaker, I sit I sit in committee on water. And I can tell from that committee, the money is eaten already. We don't have such monies. It is eaten. And I don't want to preempt, because my chair is here. I don't want to preempt what happened in the committee, because they could not sit for the entire session, since they could not be able to even add up whatever they have eaten. They have eaten everything. And now today, I have seen a report that they want to appropriate something that
Honorable Ngeche, you are
Yes.
losing the chair.
has been eaten.
Honorable Ngeche, you are losing the chair. I want to understand the meaning of eating in your context.
This is, don't use the English dictionary, Oxford dictionary, but use black.
So what does the black dictionary
It
mean?
will tell you eating is consuming.
The money was consumed. Proceed. I
Yes,
understand.
it has been consumed.
Proceed.
And it is irony now. The assembly has been held hostage. That they are told, you just pass this, that we can appropriate now. So I will be telling this house not to let them appropriate, because they have already consumed. Let now then they diarrhea, because they have already consumed. And it will be an eye-opener, Madam Speaker. As I conclude, because I know we have a cure in a supplementary budget. What they are telling us is that they want to pay Kenya Power. Over the media, you have seen even other counties having issues with Kenya Power. Are they going to misappropriate, or they are having a seat with the Kenya Power, such that they will honor the bills, because it is an entity. This is not something urgent. It is not emergency. How are we not overseeing a situation whereby we require to clear the bills? Let me tell you, Speaker, it is a loophole for them now to continue consuming and looting money, Madam Speaker. So this is not a genuine reason as to why. If it was a reason, it was a genuine reason to connect Kaibaga and Kipipiri ward, they want a bridge that has already been destroyed. I could be the first person to say I support this, because even from the row, the row is very clear on issues that are very urgent and emergency, that you can appropriate. You can call for the assembly. I'm worried that we have wasted time here. Sorry, in quote, we have wasted a lot of time discussing whatever that cannot be able to happen in this house, unless we have changed to be rubber stamping and encouraging the crime scene to continue. You see, already their praise is a crime scene. So how do we enjoy ourselves, the assembly now, to be part of the crime scene? And I'm urging this house, do not accept, do not let this house to proceed this way, because, Madam Speaker, if we do such, the Auditor General will again bring a report. And it is good that we familiarize ourselves with the Auditor General report, the mischief of this government, and they want now to sanitize themselves with us here. And I'm happy that even if we don't have much, we are educated. God bless you. I support the report.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Ngeshe, for that passionate contribution. Honorable Matimo had stood, but I do not know how we decide, because ranking member, let us go with the ranking.
Just come in. Ranking.
But his ranking all the same. Honorable Kayani.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Ranking is not an incident. It's not an incident. To become a ranking means you've worked very hard. And indeed, I am serving my 7th year. And do I say? And Honorable Kashoba is serving his 20th. So ranking, even if Kashoba stood, I would sit. That is the importance of ranking. Thank you. Honorable Speaker, Madam Speaker, listening to the discussion that has gone on here, and reminding me in the morning, we had another word that was thrown to us by Honorable Bai called laziness. And now I hear about eating. And I also heard Honorable Kashoba talking about rubber stamping. These are big words and beautiful words indeed. And when Honorable Gesha was contributing and talking about eating and the crime scene, something struck me. When you eat, you become big. The tragedy is, if you eat and you thin, or you become small, it's a tragedy. I am yet to see whether whatever has been eaten has made people big, or they have thinned. But I would guess they have probably thinned. One of the challenges that has provoked my thinking is when I recognize or realize that this debate pertains to the budget committee. The amendment or the request that has been brought by the CEC for finance. And I am aware, fully aware, so that the budget committee, together with the finance committee, does oversight that particular CECM. So for us, as members of this honorable house, to be treated to theatrics, discussing what ought to have been sorted out there, is, to say the least, ridiculous. And for that reason, just like Honorable Gesha did say, we seem to be spending a lot of time doing what ought to have been done at the boardroom of the budget committee together with the CC. Finally, I don't want to belabor people because I know we've spent a lot of time in this. In an afternoon after having a lofty lunch, the brains kind of go, south. And I want to conclude by saying this. If indeed the budget committee does not agree with the CEC, who are we as an assembly to go against the budget committee? If the budget committee did not agree with the CECM, why are we being treated to theatrics? I support fully the report of the budget committee as without amendment, as was being introduced here by a member who is a non-member of the budget committee. That is to belittle the budget committee members. And I can hear all of them are in agreement that they are not approving it. You cannot be a lone ranger and expect to go anywhere far. If you hear the majority are saying no, please retire. You have lost the battle before you have even started. And finally, Honorable Speaker, it defeats my thoughts and my logic. Why is it so hard to bring a supplementary budget and introduce all those things you want together with a supplementary budget? Why do you want to bring something that looks like a mini supplementary budget? It sounds mischievous, ridiculous, incredible, academic, and not masters, of course. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I would rather that you retire this debate. And by so saying, I want to call the mover of the motion to respond. Thank you.
Unfortunately, Honorable Kayani, only the chair has that discretion. Honorable Matimu, then Honorable Catherine.
Madam Speaker, mine will be very brief indeed. And I'll start by where Honorable Gesha has just left on the Auditor General's report. At 325, page 155, the Auditor General is very clear on the variance between appropriation account and the payment details. Madam Speaker, it's very clear that as a county, we've been having a lot of variances on what we budget for and what we spend. I'm going to ask the chairman of our budget committee. We are seeing figures here of funds not appropriated. And what is in the public domain, and what is getting very clear in this Honorable House this afternoon, is money has been eaten. Money has been consumed. What I would request of the chair, before they bring that supplementary budget to this Honorable House, let's first of all know that we have 52,268,976 for FLOCA. We also have in the account the unappropriated amount of 11 million. So that we can start from there and be sure that whatever they had brought to this Honorable House was money in our account that has not been appropriated. Madam Speaker, we sat in this very house and we budgeted for electricity. Where has this money gone? We cannot be coming here and be used by the executive to amend their messes. Madam Speaker, I'm humbly requesting that the chair budget in the next sitting, and I think there should be on record, let's have a bank statement of these funds. We first of all ensure that these funds are there and has not been eaten, has not been consumed. Thank you.
Matimo, Honorable Kadri.
Honorable Speaker, mine will be very brief too, because members have contributed on several of the points. One, of course, is to thank that budget committee because of their thorough scrutiny of the document that was brought to them, even if the document really had no information. Secondly, is to wonder 1, 2, 3 points. This morning, the Water Committee brought a report to this House that had dissenting views from the members. Honorable Speaker, then the Budget Committee brings disapproval of funds allocated to a project called FLOCA. I'm just asking myself, where do these two connect? Because I don't belong to either of the committees, and maybe as the chairman budget is responding on the floor of the House, maybe he could tell us where this committee, where this report and his report meet and disagree or do not merge. Thirdly, Honorable Speaker, I was just going through some of the recommendations by the Controller of Budget and realized that recently there was a report that the Controller released, and she was refusing to approve supplementary budgets by executives because they were introducing illegal or projects that had not been approved at the public participation level. Therefore, putting an injury on budgets that were approved in the supplementary and hiding there. So I want to say that naunga huu mswada asilimia kwa mia.
All right, Honorable Catherine. Call the mover.
I now wish to call the mover to...
Right, Honorable Kongo.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to first of all thank the members for taking time. I think this is an eye-opener on what is happening in our county. They have taken time. I know that members don't want me to respond on a certain, but I think I need to comment something on the minority leader. And by all means, he has really enriched this debate. Despite that we are not in the same page, he has really enriched the debate, and it is of good debating manners to respond on a certain issue that I felt I need to respond as the chairman. Madam Speaker, there is an issue that was raised by the minority leader that the budget committee has no mandate. And I think that is on the basis which he wanted to move an amendment, that the budget committee has no mandate to appropriate money according to Section 137. But I think he was wrong. If you look at Section 7, and there is no loophole in this matter. And first of all, we want to ask ourselves, why this genesis? Why was the control of budget asking the CCM to come to the assembly? You have heard the report from the auditors general. I had gone through it, and it was read very well here by member for Kipipiri, Honorable Geshe, that in the last financial year, the CCM and the executive used over $500 million money outside what was appropriated. So, out of reading this report by the controller of budget, has tightened using the existing laws, that no any other time she is going to allow the executive to use money without the knowledge of this county assembly. And do we have powers as an assembly to appropriate money or to allow the executive to use money that was not appropriated in the budget? If you look at Section 7 of that 135, subsection 7, it says, in any financial year, the county government may not spend under this section more than 10%. It is within 10%. If you look at what they are requesting for electricity bills, it is more than 10%. But it goes on and say, we may not use more than 10% of the amount appropriated by the county assembly for that year, unless the county assembly, in a special circumstances, approved higher percentages. So there is a certain special circumstances that this assembly can sit down, even outside supplementary, and approve some money to be used. And we have, in case, for example, the times of COVID and all that, you don't necessarily need to have to bring the supplementary. But this assembly can have a sitting at a very special circumstance and allow the executive to use higher percentages, more than 10% honor. And that is why we are saying as the budget committee, there is no special circumstances that has allowed us to do more than 10% on electrical bills, unless now we go back to the supplementary budget. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank members for their good contribution. Thank you very much. And I now move the report and ask this House to adopt it. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Kongu. The report is duly moved. I now put the question, which is that this House does adopt the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on the approvals of budget adjustment as requested by the County Treasury as a report of the House and the recommendation therein as the resolutions of the House. May those of a similar opinion say aye. Aye. May those of a contrary opinion say nay. And the ayes have it. Next order.
Madam Speaker, as per your earlier directions, we proceed with order number 1, administration of all. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Communication on my end. Proceed.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Under this order, there is a paper by Honorable Isaac Kamaubai, the Chairperson, Committee on Water, Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources.
Very well, Honorable Isaac Kamaubai, the Chairperson, Committee on Water, Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources. I hope you have sat with your committee. You remember we had an issue in the morning during the discussion.
Chair, I thought I have to read.
I hope you have sat with your committee and agreed on proper reports. I wish to point out, however, that in cases where members are not in unanimous agreement on a report, a majority of the members will have their way on the report to be tabled before the House, but the minority who dissent to the report should be allowed to record their dissension. So, Honorable Mbai, do you have a report for the House? Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is the preliminary report on the climate change annual report 2023-2024. Madam Speaker, the committee comprises of the following members and the secretariat members. That is Honorable Isaac Bae Kamau as the chairperson, Honorable Caroline Wango Jarara as vice chair, Honorable Paul Boro Keruka member, Honorable Ibrahim Maina Mwangi member, Honorable James Mwangi Geshoke member, Honorable Ruse Gedeji member, Honorable Samuel Madwainaina member, Honorable Paul Geshe Wabaire member, Honorable Mirika Wajiro Dirango member. We have a secretariat that is Ms. Nancy Mude as our senior clerk, as a senior clerk assistant. Honorable Speaker, the committee mandate. The Committee on Water, Climate Change and Natural Resources is one of the 10 secretarial committees in Nyandarua County Assembly established under Standing Order number 201, and its mandate as by the Standing Order 205 and as follows. Number 1, investigate, inquire into a report on all matters relating to the mandate, management activities, administration, operations, and estimates of the assigned department. Number 2, study the program and policy objectives of department and the effectiveness of the implementation. Number 3, study and review all county legislation referred to it. Number 5, study, access, and analyze the relative success of the department as measured by the results obtained by compared with their stated objectives. Investigate and inquire to all matter relating to the assigned department as they may deem necessary and as may be referred to them by the Assembly. To vet and to report on all appointment where the Constitution or any other law requires the Assembly to operate. Make report and recommendation to the Assembly as often as possible, including recommendation of proposed legislations. Madam Speaker, the Nyandarua County Climate Change Report, financial year 23 to 24, was tabled in. Madam Speaker, you can protect me from.
Honorable Patience.
Thank you.
Kindly consult in low tones. You are laughing.
Nyandarua County Climate Change Report, financial year 23-24, was tabled in this House on 8th October 2024 and committed to the Committee on Water, Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources for consideration and approval by this House. In line with this Section 11(1) of the Nyandarua County Climate Change Act 2021, the steering committee is mandated to among others, coordinate formulation of the climate change reporting framework, preparation and dissemination of annual report on climate change response activities in the county. The committee scrutinized the report and observed that, number 1, the report tabled in the House is actually a work plan which outlines the activities and responsibilities where the funds allocated for the project are not disclosed. Number 2, Nyandarua County annual report as submitted was not signed, neither were the minutes for its approval. Number 3, the report is not comprehensive and failed to include crucial information that is required in decision making. Upon observing the report, the committee resolved to invite the steering committee on 3rd December 2024 for a meeting in the Assembly Hall to address the inconsistencies. The steering committee failed to attend the meeting and sent the secretariat who could not represent the committee. A decision was reached to invite the members of the steering committee individually on 18th February 2025 in Assembly Hall via letter reference NCA addressed to the clerk communication, that is the 17th 2025, which was later postponed to at 11:30 a.m. On Tuesday, the 25th 2025, the committee had a joint meeting with the members of the steering committee and deliberated on how to conduct of Nyandarua County Climate Change Annual Report, financial year 2023-2024. It was further observed that 1, the steering committee members were not conversant with the activities carried out in the period under review. Number 2, the composition of the steering committee is well outlined in clause 12.1 of the Act, which was absent during its activities and adoption. Number 3, the report that was tabled before the committee was not signed, thus lacked ownership, and the committee was not a position to look at the report. Number 4, this is the second report with the same anomalies, which is anomalies, which is an expression of incompetence on the part of the Secretariat, and which committee intend to take specific focus on looking into their appointment and credential to determine whether they are fit to hold said offices. And there is a glaring incompetence on the part of the FAD administrator and the Director Climate Change. Arising from the above, the Committee on Water, Climate Change and Natural Resources resolved that the report is not admissible and elected that another report should be submitted through the Office of the Clerk within 7 days from 25th day of February 2025. Madam Speaker, the committee seek for 14 days to come up with a comprehensive report for the approval of this House. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mbai. The preliminary report is duly tabled. What time have you sought?
Madam Speaker, I sought 14 days, and I request to confirm from members whether they agree with this one, so that I cannot be cooked again.
Honorable Chair, I thought you had already agreed with the timelines before you.
Information to the chair.
All right, who has the information? Honorable Ngeshe?
Madam Speaker, as the chair has just put it, I wanted to inform him that to just request 28 days.
Would you kindly explain why you want 28 days instead of the 14? You're already disagreeing on the floor. I thought you had...
We are not disagreeing. You see, we have the powers of the chairman, and that is why I'm requesting him to allow it to 28 more days, since, Madam Speaker, from where I sit, they need to come and respond where we want clarification. They need to clarify such that we will not be roasted in this House if we bring a half-baked report. That is it, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Ngeshe. However, I think Honorable Chair has the full authority and the know-how to know that the business can be conducted in 14 days. And so the leave sought is well explained and deserving, and so I grant it as sought. Chairperson, ensure the report is ready within the time requested, and also consider looping in Honorable Ngeshe's request. Thank you. Clerk, next order.
Madam Speaker, we have exhausted the business in the supplementary order paper, so we proceed to the main order paper. Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
I have no communication to make. Next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Madam Speaker, there are a number of papers to be laid in this House. The first one being from the Honorable Samuel Rebecca Yane, the Chairperson, Committee on Trade, Cooperatives, Tourism and Industrialization.
Very well. He's not in the House. Who is the Vice? The Vice Chair, Honorable Joyce Monyo. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In regards to the report on the Corborosat half marathon, we are kindly requesting for 45 days owing to the insufficient information provided earlier. We have since requested the CCM trade for a meeting that will be held next week on Wednesday. So we are requesting for an additional 45 days to bring a comprehensive report.
The report is duly tabled, Honorable Joyce. The same shall proceed as directed by the House Business Committee. Sorry. The leave sought is well explained and deserving, and so I grant it as sought. The chairperson should ensure the report is ready within the time requested. Next order, clerk.
Under the same order, Madam Speaker, there are 3 papers to be laid by Honorable Duncan Gideji Chege, the chairperson, Committee on Public Accounts and Investments.
Very well, Honorable Duncan Gideji Chege, or in that case, a member of the committee. Honorable Esther.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On behalf of the chair, PICPAC committee, I wish to give this report. The first report is on Engineer Level 4 Hospital for financial year 30th June 2022 and 30th June 2023. The committee, Madam Chair, has received the submissions by the department in response to the audit queries. We are in the process of compiling the reports and therefore we request for 21 more days. On the second report, Madam Chair, it is the report of the County Executive of Nyandarua for the financial year ended 30th June 2021 and to 30th June 2022. The committee is yet to receive the submissions on the said report and is currently in the process of requesting the same. So the committee, since it has various reports that it is considering, at the same time we request that you grant us some more 90 days. On the third report, which is the report of Nyandarua County Civil Servants Caron and Mortgage Scheme Fund and the Nyandarua County Executive, that is State and Public Officers Caron and Mortgage Scheme Fund for the financial year ended, that is June 2019, 2020, 2021 and 2022. The committee, through the Office of the Clerk, requested for written submissions of the audit queries for the fund for the financial years ended, that is June 2019, 2020, 2021 and 2022. To this end, the committee has only received submissions for 1 year, that is the year 2021. The committee is still awaiting submissions on the other 3 financial years so that it can be able to present a comprehensive report to the House. So in this regard, we request we request that you grant us 60 more days so that we can submit a comprehensive report to this House. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The preliminary report is duly tabled. The leave sought is the leave sought is well explained and deserving, and so I grant it as sought. Chairperson, ensure the report is ready within the time requested, and that goes for all the reports that you have sought leave. Next order, clerk.
Under the same order, there is a paper by Honorable Peter Gadogo Kamau, the Chairperson, Committee on Education, Children, Gender Affairs, Culture and Social Services.
Very well, Honorable Peter Gadogo Kamau, Chairperson, Committee on Education, Children, Gender Affairs, Culture and Social Services. Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, I'm wondering why there is duplication from the table office, because this is an issue which I addressed yesterday. I sought for 60 days, and it seems it has been repeated again. So we still stick to the 60 days, but I gave a response yesterday, Honorable Speaker.
All right, the report is duly tabled. The leave sought is well explained and deserving, and so I grant it as sought. Chairperson, ensure the report is ready within the time requested. Next order, clerk.
Under the same order, there is a report by Honorable Hussein Dogo Kasana, the Chairperson, Committee on Legal Affairs, Labor, Intergovernmental Relations and Coordination Committee.
Very well, and Honorable Kasana is not in the House. Maybe the Vice Chairperson. the Legal Affairs, Labor and Intergovernmental Relations and Coordination Committee. Honorable Naomi, you're the Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to request more time so as to finalize on the report.
How much more time, Honorable Naomi?
I'd like to request for 60 days.
Why the 60 days, Honorable Naomi?
This is to help the committee to get all the sufficient information that we require so that we can finalize on the report.
All right. Thank you, Honorable Naomi. Honorable Gashomba, you have something to say?
Yes, I want just to understand from...
Are you a member of the said committee?
No, I a concerned member.
Okay.
Yes, I want to understand which committee, which report is that had been requested 60 days?
Honorable Naomi, which is your committee?
I don't know if the honorable member was attentive and is following the proceedings, but it is the committee for legal, and we had
maybe I can intervene and help the Vice Chair. It is the report on the Committee on Legal Affairs, Labor Relations and Intergovernmental Relations and Coordination of the Nyandarua County Office of the County Attorney Annual Report for the period 1st July 2023 to 30th June 2024.
Thank you.
Honorable Naomi, that the leave is well sought. Ensure that the report is ready within those 60 days. Next, Order Clerk.
Under the same order, there are two reports to be laid by Honorable Peter Deji Kirega, the Chairperson Committee on Special Funds Accounts.
Very well, Honorable Peter Deji Kirega, or any delegated member? So nobody covering. Does the committee need more time to consult among themselves? All right, Honorable Gashomba.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'll read on behalf of my chair. Report on the Nyandarua County Emergency Fund Annual Report and financial statements for the period ended, that is June 2024. Madam Speaker, the committee is currently conducting a detailed review of the annual report and financial statements of the County Emergency Fund for the period ending, that is June 2024. In addition, the committee is scrutinizing the payment vouchers for all disbursements made from the fund and ensure accuracy, accountability, compliance with the law. Guided by the PFMA Act 2012 and the Emergency Fund Regulation 2022, the committee is committed to a thorough and meticulous examination. Our goal is to verify every payment made within the established legal and framework, ensuring transparency and prudent use of public resources. Given the sensitive nature of this task and the need for a comprehensive and well-structured report, the committees respectively request an extension of 45 days. This additional time will allow us to complete and detailed analysis and compile a report with well-founded findings and action recommendation for the House for consideration. Thank you, Madam Speaker. The other one is about the report on Nyandarua County Car Loan and Mortgage Fund quarterly report and financial statement for the period ended, that is June 2024. Madam Speaker, the committee has completed its review of the financial statements for the Nyandarua County Executive Car Loan and Mortgage Fund for the period ended, that is June 2024. During the scrutiny, several key issues were identified, necessitating further discussion and clarifications. To address this concern and ensure well-informed input, the committee invited the Executive Car Loan and Mortgage Fund Administration Committee for a meeting, which took place at 1 p.m. During this engagement, the committee sought detailed explanation and clarification on the identified issues to facilitate the compilation of a comprehensive and well-structured report. Madam Speaker, given the need for thorough analysis and incorporation of all the necessary details, the committee respectfully requests for an extension of 30 days to finalize and submit a detailed report with a clear findings and actionable recommendation. Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I table with the clerk.
Thank you. The preliminary report is duly tabled, and the leave sought for 45 days and 30 days respectively is well granted, and the chairperson should ensure that it is ready within the time requested. Clerk, next order.
Under the same order, there is a report by Honorable Paul Kerukamboro, the Chairperson, Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries Development.
All right, Honorable Keruka, Paul Mboro, Chairperson, Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries. Proceed.
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker. On status of the department, by status of the department budget implementation report for the period ended 30th June 2024. The Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries was assigned by this esteemed House to task on review and providing a report on the budget implementation for the financial year 2023-2024. The committee has received the relevant report from the Department of Agriculture and is currently in the process of verifying the details, particulars concerning the project that have been implemented in collaboration with the honorable members of this assembly. Madam Speaker, given that the verification process is still going, the committee kindly requests an extension of 2 weeks from this honorable House to complete a review and submit the final report. Madam Speaker, you know, we want to even to get more information from farmers who benefited from the Department of Agriculture on the issue of pyrethrum seedling, and you know, even we want to go on the ground to see what is happening so that we can bring the real report on the ground concerning Agriculture Department. So, Madam Speaker, I seek a leave for 14 days.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The leave is well sought and granted. The 14 days are granted. Kindly ensure that they are ready within that time. Clerk, next order.
Order number 6, notices of motions. Order number 7, statements. Under this order, there is a statement response by Honorable Samuel Mwikayani, the Chairperson, Committee on Tourism, Trade, Cooperatives and Industrialization.
Very well. On behalf of the Chairperson, Honorable Samuel Mwikayani, we have Honorable Joyce Munyo. Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Regarding the response to a statement sought by Honorable James Kiruga Chomba on the status of implementation of the County Aggregated Industrial Park, KAIP, at Jabini, we did a letter to the department, and what was provided was insufficient information. So what we have done, we have invited them for a physical meeting next week on Wednesday, And thereafter, we also plan to have a meeting. We intend to have a field visit. So we are kindly requesting for 21 days so that we'll be able to bring a comprehensive response. And the seeker has been advised accordingly.
The Speaker, have you been advised accordingly? Honorable James Kairuka.
Yes, Madam Speaker, much obliged.
All right, the 21 days are granted. Clerk, next order.
Order number 8, motions and bills. Madam Speaker, the business of this sitting as appearing on the supplementary order paper and the main order paper has been exhausted.
Thank you, Clerk. There being no other business to transact during this sitting, I now adjourn the House to the Tuesday, the 11th day of March, 2025 at 9:30 a.m.